Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Guys. Ah. Hi, Jamie. Hi, sexy Jesus. Let's just hop right into this. I'm saying, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is it's all happening now. Hotness. Oh my God. You guys, like, a lot of things are happening for us in ways that maybe we don't realize. And it's feeling like you're going to be receiving news that's going to completely alter the way you see everything, the way you live through everything. Everything that you've been going through as of late, it's been, leading up to this part, the part where you begin to see the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? The fruits of your labor. I'm just saying, I don't know about you guys. I'm feeling more and more like myself, right? I'm saying I'm feeling more and more like myself, and it's definitely it's been a long hard road, I think, for all of us, right? It's been a really long hard road, and once we kind of just allow ourselves to settle into this space that's being created for us right now by soul, I think the sense of struggle that we've had for I don't know how long now, it kind of just begins to dissolve, right? It just begins to dissolve. And as you allow everything to align perfectly, you'll see that everything has been for a reason. Everything has been for a very, very specific, very profound reason. And it's time for us to allow things, to kind of just do what it does, just do what it does. Like, okay, do I seem well rested? Like, life's been gentle with me? Does it seem like life has been gentle with me as of late? And, I slept in today, and I've had my charcuterie board all to myself, and I've just kind of been, just chillaxing. Yeah, no. I just got home from the gym from nearly 4 hours of lifting heavy, lifting hard. This is me fresh out the shower, and my hair was still wet, and I was just like, all right, bitches, it's time for me to get my pizzazzle back. I'm gonna cut my hair a little bit, just in the front, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm testing to see if I want to cut it back into I'm not sure. I'm just going to tuck that behind and let it do what it do, right? No, it's not been necessarily an easy day. But when you allow your mindset to cause you to view your life in a way that's a space of flowing, then it's going to flow. It's going to do the dang thing. You look like a ripe, sweet peach. Stop. Stop. I'll share with you this. My husband has been watching me at the gym for weeks now, if not like a month or two. Strut my shit down that down that walkway, right? Because I'm trying to get my walk all nice and comfy and just be really comfortable sashaying, sashaying, sashaying. And then today he gave me some input. He said that it looks like I'm skipping when I walk and that I look super stiff, which, okay, I'm very tight everywhere. I'm stiff. I've been working out a lot. And then he says, you should just walk like this. Tell me why this mofo was sashaying. Like, damn, baby. Go ahead, rock on. He looks so good. My husband can dance, though. You know what I'm saying? He know how to move. He know how to move. I was cracking up. I was just like, bitch. Bitch, what? Let me get out of your way. It was hilarious. I wish I could have taken a video and shown you guys, but he forbids me from sharing too much of him with all of you. So it is what it is. Everything is happening for you now. It's something that you've been working so hard for. It's something that you have wanted so badly and have just been like super duper patient. Patient even through tears. Ooh. Ooh. Patient even through tears. You've allowed yourself to really just step into a space of flow, and that's causing you to heal. That's causing you to enter into a space where it's like, all right, I've been through what I've been through. Things are what they are. And there's been times that I felt disempowered, but really, were you disempowered or were you just seeing things upside down? Right? Were you just seeing things upside down? Because sometimes that's what happens. We feel very disempowered, but it's like, have you lost your power? Or do you just feel like you have? Because your power is shifting into a different space. It's being expressed in a different way. And in that, you feel a certain type of way about your process. Just because you feel disempowered doesn't mean you actually are. I mean, I can feel like a badass, but I don't mean I am. It don't mean that I am. There's been times where I was feeling extra badass that day. And so I went ahead and I put way more weight. And I go to pull that cable and I'm like, nope. That happens a lot at the gym. Nope. And then I just giggle to myself and I go right back and I reduce the load because feeling some type of way does not make you that type of way. It just doesn't. It doesn't, right? So whatever happened in autumn, we've been carrying this through, right? We've been carrying this through. For some of you, there was something that happened and it made you feel some type of way about yourself, about your environment, about life in general. And you've been really struggling to find your space back in center. You've been really, really just like, when is life going to go my way? When is this? When is that? How come? Why? Why me? Why this? Why now? Why not now? All of these questions, right? Do you really want the answers? Did you really want the answers to those questions? Or was that just your way of releasing that heaviness on your shoulders and your chest? And it's okay if you just needed to release things, right? It's okay. Sometimes we just ask these questions, not necessarily to get the answers, but more to release, to let go, to allow ourselves to process whatever life is forcing us to process. Now that we've gotten an opportunity to kind of just assess that, be honest with ourselves about where we're at, now is a time to go ahead and take responsibility, to take accountability for every single potentiality that you have lived through, everything that you are still living through. Taking accountability has nothing to do with blaming or shaming yourself. Knock that shit off. That was harsh. Ooh. Ooh, that hurt my feelings for a second. Oh shit, I hurt my own feelings. Knock that shit off. Seriously, knock it off. Just knock it off. So I told you guys before that oftentimes I go through processes typically about 3 months in advance of other people, right? It's not because I'm extra special and extra loved. I mean, I am loved by God. Ooh. Ooh. Thank you. Thank you, Dada. Thank you, Papa, for loving me. Anyways, so sometimes I'll go through things in advance of most people, like usually on average 3 months in advance. November, December, January, February. Okay, end of November, December, January, February. That's 3 months. That's 3 months. Was it not approximately 3 months ago? Y'all saw me crying up on this space about it's not fair. It felt so intense, okay? Those are real tears. But now I can look back and laugh at it because it's like, girl, you know damn well you wasn't going to give up. Do you guys remember that? When I was on a live stream and I was crying because it's like, I work so hard. I go to the gym 6 days a week and my body just keeps eating my muscles. I can't eat enough. I distinctly remember crying about that, talking about, I just want to give up. Just fuck it. Right? Did I give up? No, I did not. I let myself go ahead and ask those questions that I really didn't want or need answers to. I didn't. I just wanted to get that off my chest. And once I got it off my chest, I refocused and I did whatever I needed to do, which is start being more selective of what foods I eat. It wasn't a case of me wanting to eat more. It was a case of me struggling to eat enough. And now I'd be getting dirty with the carbs. I do. Right? I chilled out. Sometimes when you're asking all of these questions and you're so pissed off at the world, pissed off at God, pissed off at whatever the hell you want to be pissed off at, it's really just you needing to make sure that you're getting to a space of releasing so that you have space to let the goodness and the potentiality in. And for many of us, this is what we've been doing, right? This is what we've been doing past couple months since autumn. That was the kickoff. That was where we were initiating some type of process that we're about to see the fruits of your labor is coming through. It is coming through. These were nothing but cycles. It was never intended to destroy you. It was intended to deconstruct the parts of you that are the most resistant to the process that you're in. So long as those parts of you were fully in that space that they were in, the toxic self-loathing, self-abnegation type space, there was nothing that was going to happen for you. So because you allowed yourself to go through that and move forward, and you're still in the process of moving forward, this space of lack of prosperity is about to come to a close. you know? It's about to come to a close. So Kavi asks, but why I gotta beat myself in the process? I mean, like, no, don't do that. Well, here's the thing. You don't have to. You choose to. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, no, you don't have to. That's the thing we continuously fail to understand and accept. We don't have to struggle. We don't have to beat ourselves up. We don't have to be harsh with ourselves. We don't have to go through these cycles of hating ourselves in order to figure out how to love ourselves. We don't have to. We choose to. We choose to, because being a human is like entering into the toddlerhood of soul. It's reverting back to a space of toddlerhood of consciousness. And just like how toddlers think they know everything, right? You tell them, no, you shouldn't do that. You're going to get hurt. And they're going to choose to do that anyways. My kids are pretty good listeners, right? When I ask them not to do something, typically, it depends on the moods, but no, seriously, typically, they won't do it. I just got to ask them once, like, hey, could you stop? And they'll agree, like, okay, I should. Thank you. Right? Typically. Why is that? Because when they were toddlers, I'd let them fall. I mean, not if they're going to get severely hurt, but I would let them fall. I wouldn't tell them, don't do that. I would say, hey, you might want to reconsider, because that looks like you could potentially fall. And they look at me and I'm like, I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. Be careful though. It wasn't a threat. It was just like, hey, have you considered some of the different potentialities? And of course, my children are exceptionally intelligent, like exceptionally intelligent. They didn't really take much. One little wobble, they'd look over at me and I'm like, you're fine. And they'd be like, yeah, you know what? I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. I'm like, you want me to hold your hand? I'll help you. Like, no, they don't want to do it. Okay, you sure? I mean, if you do it safely, then you won't fall. But you just have to be aware of the certain consequences that are inherently a potentiality based on what it is you're trying to do. Right? Based on what it is you're trying to do. Now, a lot of toddlers these days, a lot of former toddlers who are now young adults, right? They never learned that. They never learned that. They learn to go ahead and go forward, irrelevant of the different potentialities that are staring them in the face. And then when they receive an effect that is directly correlated to the causation they chose, it's like, but why? Because you fucking chose that, bro. You chose that. And it's not that that's what you deserve. It's that you needed to learn that choosing that specific option is going to lead to that specific effect. And if you don't like that effect, you got to choose other options. At the end of the day, it's your choice. And that's true for everyone. For everyone. We don't have to suffer. We struggle so long as we fight our process. We suffer so long as we refuse to accept the process that we're in. So this cycle is nothing that you need to cleanse yourself of. This is something that's very healthy for you. It's not going to feel super healthy, right? It's going to feel challenging. It's going to feel quite possibly adversarial. You're probably going to feel like it's not fair. Never said that it was. You're probably going to feel like it's nonsensical. Might seem like it. It might. I'm not trying to invalidate your perception about what you've lived through. I'm trying to help you find the courage to see beyond whatever it is you're focused on, whatever you're fixated on. Because when you're too zoomed in, you can't see that it's all happening now. Everything is aligning. Everything that you worked so hard for is coming to fruition. It's already there. You just weren't aware. You weren't aware. It's already there. It's already in manifest form. It's just taking time for you to receive the good news, right? You are responsible for everything that happens to you, whether it be something unpleasurable or something much more pleasurable. It's all you. That's a beautiful thing about life. You get to decide what's going to happen to you and for you and all of that goodness, all of that jazz, right? You get to decide that. And how you see what's happening is what's going to determine the way you experience it. Case in point, I got stranded in a parking lot for several months in a broken RV with my family. I didn't see that as punishment. You best believe, hell yeah, I cried and I was so upset when Michael let me know in the middle of a live stream he broke my brakes on purpose. And that was the very first time anyone had ever seen me cry. I still distinctly remember exactly where I was at, what was happening. I remember it because it felt so unfair and it seriously hurt me. But that was a process I needed to go through to become the person that I am right now. And no, it didn't take me time to process. And it wasn't a horrible experience. And now when I look back, oh, it wasn't so bad. While I was in it, I gave myself permission to be in it. I didn't see it as a bad thing. And I've always maintained that period of being a vagabond. That was the most beautiful, most magical period my family has ever had. As a family unit, I love that part of our journey so much. It aligned everything. Everything. But even with that, being immersed in that and having a neutral point of view and even enjoying it for the most part, in that moment that I became aware of what was done, I felt betrayed. I felt angry and I cried. I didn't just cry, I fucking sobbed. I know exactly where I was. I was at St. Vrain Park in northern Colorado, sitting on a picnic bench with a juvenile bald eagle flying overhead, as Michael told me this. And boy, oh boy, that hurt me so bad. Sometimes it's the hurt that we go through that serves as the impetus for the expansion of awareness that is necessary for us to become aware that everything we have been waiting for is happening right now. But still, it is up to us what we will do with what is happening right now. Because in that moment, I had a shit ton of viewers on that live stream with me. A shit ton of people on that live stream with me. And they were like, oh my God, what's happening? Why is she crying? Oh my, because they've never seen me cry before. Right? And then I told them and they're like, oh, what do you need? Tell us, tell us. Let us help you. You know why I struggled longer? And I'm not even ashamed to say this. Because when all of those people asked me what I needed finally realizing I was stranded. I wasn't just live streaming outdoors because I love nature. I was fucking stuck. They all asked me what I needed. They wanted to help. You know what I did? I asked them for the $700 that my husband's coworker needed so she wouldn't become homeless. And I told them, I'm going to be fine. I don't think she'll be fine in a parking lot. So if y'all can help me raise the $700, we're going to give it to her so she doesn't get evicted. And they immediately gave it to me, and we immediately gave it to her. This was a person my husband only knew for, I don't know, maybe a couple months. I don't know if it was a couple of weeks or a couple months. Like, girlfriend, you're not going to survive these streets. Let us help you. Let us give you this. Your ass is not made for the streets. That's just how I felt. My husband agreed. He's like, she ain't made for no streets. So we gave her that rent money, and we left it at that. Took me a couple more months of being immersed in that challenging situation to allow myself to receive. And even then, I couldn't allow myself to receive a gift, to receive donations. I felt like I had to earn it. So I did. I went through that additional layer and level and length of difficulty because I chose it. That's why I'm not bitter about anything that I've lived through. Not even the most fucked up stuff. I'm not bitter about any of that. It's kind of just like, it was the only way I was going to learn. I'm hard-headed. I'm stubborn. So I choose those things. And I choose them knowing that as I go through additional difficulties, that I'm not always aware my decisions are going to cause additional difficulties. It actually elevates and expands the opportunity to learn, meaning my potentiality becomes elevated and expanded as well. Know that when you continuously choose the most difficult option without realizing you're choosing the most difficult option, you are gifting yourself an elevation of profound potential. I've learned the struggles. That's the very charge that catapults you forward much further than you ever thought you could go. That's the very thing. I'm grateful, genuinely, for the most darkest, most difficult parts from my entire life. Maybe if we begin to frame our vision of our life in that way, it doesn't seem so unfair, right? At least to me, it doesn't seem unfair. It seems appropriate. It doesn't seem appropriate that I'm being punished because I don't feel like I'm being punished. It seems more like I'm being given opportunity after opportunity to recognize just how unfuckwithably powerful I am. I mean, you can't have gone through the types of things that I've gone through and continue to fail to see how powerful you are. There's just no way. There's just no way, right? No way at all. So your soul is calling you out. Isn't it always, though? Isn't it always? Yes, it is. It always is. Look, soul is no longer going to tolerate you hiding the most beautiful parts of you. And it's not going to tolerate your lack of belief in yourself, your lack of belief in how capable you are to get through everything, every challenge, every opportunity to expand your awareness. Is not going to let you continue to ignore that. Now, usually what ends up happening if soul starts to take that stance, and this is done with love, soul will grab your ass by your hair, drag you through the dry riverbed, kicking and screaming. It will grab you by your hair and drag your ass through that dry riverbed. If you don't want that, you should start complying with what soul is trying to get you to see, trying to get you to accept about yourself, that you are loved, that you are provided every single opportunity that is necessary to understand and accept how powerful you actually are. And that, I don't know, maybe it's time to let some things go. Let some things, let some people just go, right? Now, you don't necessarily have to feel grateful for being put in this process. You don't. Soul doesn't care about gratitude. Gratitude is a human based type of emotion and perception. You don't have to be grateful. Soul's going to do whatever is necessary, and that's just that. That's just that, right? So, as you're here on this earthly journey, there are certain things that you need to do. There are certain things that you need to allow. Receiving is one of those things. Stop blocking what is being given to you by soul, whether it be opportunity, connection, money, right? Excuse me. I'm fixing to shake some of you like a shake weight. I'm fixing to shake some of you like a shake weight because seriously, you kind of just got to stop. You kind of just got to stop doing that whole thing of like, other people need this more than me. I swear to God, you say that to me. Who needs this more than you? Who needs whatever your soul is giving you more than you? Who is this person? Who is this person? I mean, there are people struggling. There are people in Africa who don't have clean water. Knock that shit off. There's a lot of beautiful, beautiful spaces in Africa full of clean water. Stop believing these commercials that are trying to convince you that you need to suffer just so they can scam you out of money. Something like 70% of what you donate to those organizations don't even get to where they need to go. So stop it. Who is it that's suffering and struggling? I mean, outside of you. Who is it? Who in your life that you know? Right. Right. Someone. That someone is you, honey. There's no greater struggle than the struggle of an empath trying to convince themselves that they have everything they need. No, you don't. No, you don't. I know for a fact that you don't, because you know why? You give it all away just like I give it all away. No, you don't have everything you need. We got to stop with that. We got to stop with that. What is given to you is for you. It is not for someone else. It is for you. When you allow yourself to receive it, you could share. There's nothing wrong with sharing. But sharing doesn't mean giving everything away. You see, the problem here is that everything that's happening for you right now, it's not coming in because you're thinking someone else should receive this. They have their own thing they're getting from their soul. It has nothing to do with you. You are not their personal Santa Claus. Mm, 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 mm. Years ago, I realized that I am my mother's inner child existing outside of her body. Mm, mhm. I am a manifestation of her inner child, living outside of her, living all the potentialities she refused. And wouldn't you know? You take that and pair it with a memory that I have. I was so angry with her. I was so angry with her because what did she do? When I graduated from high school, she gave me an extravagant gift. Um, she she gave me a Fendi backpack, a full-size Fendi backpack. It was a gorgeous backpack. It was leather. And, you know, that was a different type of bougie. I felt like it needed to be very understated. I didn't want the trademarked print, the two F's upside down. Yeah. I didn't want that as the print on the leather because I felt like, why should I pay this much money? Well, I mean, she paid for it. Why should she pay that much money for me to advertise for that luxury brand? And so I never used it. Right. That's just my little social justice warrior phase. Stop. Anyways, so that's how I felt. But then like years later, she asked me if she could borrow it. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm not using it right now. So yeah, you borrow it. Years later, I have my first child and I'm like, oh my God, that backpack would be amazing as a baby bag. Right. Yeah. And so I'm like, hey mom, do you know where that Fendi backpack is? And she's like, well, you didn't want it. I said, no, I didn't say that. You borrowed it. And I said, sure. I already knew there's some shit that popped off. One of our relatives from the Philippines had come to visit. Mind you, this is a ridiculously wealthy person, even for American standards. Ridiculously wealthy. And she gave it to them. For fucking why? That's what I said. For fucking why? And she goes, well, you didn't want it. I never said I didn't want it. You borrowed it and never gave it back. And she goes, well, you never used it. So I gave it to someone that I thought would use it more. Oh, you mean the richest person you know? And she was like, don't be disrespectful. Do you know how many Fendi things they have? How many Louis purses they have? You think they needed another luxury purse? And that was just evidence of the ways in which she never allowed herself to receive. She just wouldn't. I learned that from her. She wouldn't. She wouldn't. Always giving everything away. Mhm. Giving everything away. Why? You give her something, if someone wants it, she'll give it away. Why? She never felt worthy of receiving. And me existing as her inner child outside of her body, she conditioned me to believe that too. My mother was not a bad person. Not at all. But she definitely had struggles with allowing herself to receive. And until I realized I am a manifestation of her inner child, I continued those cycles. And when I realized that, no, whatever you give to me, you give to me. That's okay. It doesn't make me a bad person. I still very much struggle to ask people even if I need help. I very much struggle. But now it's like, you give to me, thank you. I appreciate you. Before, it used to be this thing of, okay, you give me something worth $20, I got to give you something worth at least 100, so that, like, I don't want to seem ungrateful. Very tit for tat, right? Tit for tat. And it's like, no. Now I see when people give to me, it's their way of expressing some type of gratitude, some type of appreciation for something that I did willingly, with no hesitation. I did for them, not realizing the effect it would have on them. And they are simply trying to say thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many of you do that? How many of you do that? Where we can't see the ways in which people are trying to express to us the most beautiful emotions that we have made them feel just by existing, just by being a part of their journey. I mean, I once had a viewer who I was just very like, oh my gosh, person touched my heart so deeply. And then I jokingly said, and I learned not to say it anymore. I jokingly said, because I love this one moisturizer. It's a moisturizer line by Shiseido. And I was just like, I love it because it's so good. And then one of the viewers was like, okay, what address? I'll get you some. And I was like, no, I was just kidding. I was just kidding. And then I thought maybe like, oh, they mean they're gonna get me like a little travel size, which is, it's really little, but I mean, even that is expensive. The travel size, I think, was like $100 or something like that. And yeah. And then a couple weeks go by, and then they're like, hey, did you get your package? And I was like, what package? And they're like, oh, I sent you something to your PO box. And I was like, oh, I'm not even in the state. I don't know. I'll have to figure out how to get the package. And I'm thinking it's a little package. And eventually, my son and I, we ended up going on a mommy and me road trip. And we ended up needing to drive through that part of that state. So we stopped at our PO box, and it was a big box. And I was like, what the hell is that? Did I order something? Are they crystals? I'm totally a crystal hoe, reformed crystal hoe. Don't look at my big ass crystals, okay? No, but I opened it, and I fucking started crying in the parking lot. Do you know why? She got me full-size jars plus hair care. I know for some people it's like it's lotion at me. That's over $1,000. That was years ago. It still affects me because I knew they were struggling. I knew they were struggling, and I knew that they could have used that money for whatever they were struggling through. And instead, they spent it on me. I kept the jars. I still have them. I still have them. They're empty now. I'm never throwing them away. Because as soon as I got them, I reached out to this person and I was like, no, this is too much. I'm gonna be wiring you some money. I'm paying for this. This is too much. Nope, there's no way. I know what you're going through. No. And they told me that was the least they could do to show how grateful they are for what I've done for them. So although there's no more product in the jar, the jar is still full. Full of my gratitude. Not just for their gratitude for me, but for the lesson they also gifted me with. They gifted me with awareness of how unaware I am of the effect that I have on others, and how me just being me and caring genuinely is a gift that most people have never received in their life. The jars have no more product, but they are still full. And I will never throw those jars away. Every time I move, those jars come with me. They're not tucked away in some storage unit. Nope. No. They're always kept with my most important things, and is oftentimes one of the first things to go into a moving truck. It's all happening now. Everything that you've worked so hard for, all the realizations that you need to understand the gravity of you, the divinity of your purpose and existence. It's all happening now. You just need to let yourself see how upside down you are in your perception of who you are and how you are. Turn it right side up so you can see yourself clearly with no distortions. Allow yourself to receive the messages that you are meant to receive. Sometimes all it takes is one message to completely change your perception. One message to reaffirm that everything you've been through and are going through still is abso-fucking-lutely worth it. I received a message today that I'm not going to share what the message is, at least not right now. It was a simple message letting me know something. I got it while I was at the gym. And boy, oh boy. Ended up crying at the gym and having to walk myself to the ladies' restroom so that I could fix my face. Wipe up all my tears, blow my nose, and like, girl, you still got 2.5 hours of workout left. And just that one message shifted everything to the degree that rather than struggling and dragging ass for the last hour and a half of the workout, I ended up working out for almost 4 hours, and I was like pumped. I was lifting extra heavy. I still had so much energy left. Just everything is leading to me receiving what is right, what is fair, what has been worked so hard for, right? You don't need to make any revolutionary changes within yourself. You don't. And you don't need to fight yourself anymore. There's no revolution that needs to take place inside of you. It's time to allow the revolution to occur outside of you, externally. Allow the changes inside to radically change your external environment. It's time for renewal to be allowed back in. It's time for you to let yourself receive what is rightfully for you, whether it be a physical thing, a monetary thing, an emotional thing, a kind gesture from an individual, a hug, a smile, whatever it is, an opportunity presented to you, whatever it is, accept it. If you can so readily accept from people who give to you with strings attached, people who give to you as a form of prepayment for an act or something that they're going to collect on later, why can't you allow yourself to receive from the very people, the very circumstance that has no strings attached? Maybe you've gotten too comfortable dealing with nothing but transactional connections. People who will only do for you as long as you can do more for them. Yeet those people across the fucking universe. And then celebrate the people who help just because. Let yourself. Stop blocking yourself just because you've dealt with those type of people. Everything you've worked so hard for, it's coming to fruition, but it's going to require you allowing yourself to receive in ways you've never allowed yourself to receive before. And that means allowing the people who have never been transactional with you the opportunity to gift you their presence, their time, their support. For some, material things. For others, money. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to give you. I don't know what you need. You know what you need. You know what you need. So let that need be fulfilled. Let yourself receive. There is no more space for any of that game you play with yourself. That game of someone else could use this more than me. Yeah? Doesn't seem like it. Because if someone else could have used that more than you, I mean, why did God give it to you? Right? I used to think years ago that someone more worthy should have the platform that I have. Because, I am just this uneducated stay-at-home mom. And there's someone else who has all of the appropriate certificates, all of the appropriate degrees, things that are verifiable. They would be better. Be better at what? Being me? No. I understand now. No. Your life is custom created for you. It's made for you. There is no one else that can be a better you, right? I have an amazing husband. I have an amazing husband who personally believes I am his personal Google. He does. I was like, why are you asking me? You have a smartphone. Google it. And he goes, but you are my Google. Sir? Thank you, honey. Thank you. But that's the thing. That was my perception, right? Your perception about yourself is very skewed. It's all happening now. Everything that you have worked so hard for without realizing that's what you were working for, it's being delivered to you. It's on the way. It's on the way. I'm not even asking you to try and find some faith or try and dig up some hope. I'm telling you, it is on the way. Do not refuse that delivery when it arrives. It's on the way. So let it happen. This right here, your refusal to be the most dependable person you know. See, you're dependable for everyone else. I'm about to call you out. You're dependable for everyone else except yourself. You refuse to allow yourself to receive. You refuse. You refuse. I'm going to shake you like a shake weight. I'm going to shake you. No, I'm not. The words are already shaking you. And maybe if you're shook up enough by the ways in which you're being called out in this live stream, without me even knowing who's on, you're being called out, right? You feel it's a personal attack. Hey, it ain't me attacking you. It's your soul. It's the very thing that led you here knowing what would come out my mouth without me knowing what would come out my mouth. Right? And what your soul is doing is placing you in an environment where a girl like me who speaks words that shake people's brains brought you here so you could be shook back into an appropriate alignment with the self. The self and the soul must realign, and you must be the most dependable person you know for yourself. Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. Allow yourself to receive. Welcome yourself back home. Dust off the biggest seat in the throne room. That's your seat. You do not take second seat to anyone else within your own life. People are going to be like, oh my God, Emmy's teaching you to be selfish. Emmy's teaching you to be full of yourself. And for those who have been with me for some time, you know what I'm about to say. The only appropriate response to that, oh, you're so full of yourself. What is the only appropriate response to that? Who did you want me to be full of? You? Yeah, no. You should be full of yourself. You should be full of your awareness of how much of a gift you are, how generous you are, how loving, how giving, how patient, how dependable for everyone else but you. You should be full of that for you. And the people that have an issue with you being full of yourself are the very people who want you to be full of all of the negative things that would cause you to feel like you need to go out of your way to apologize for existing, meaning favors nonstop, over giving, over this, over that. How about we just be over it, period? How about that? How about that? Yeah. You want to be a manifester? Serious question. You want to be a manifester? In order to be a manifester, you have to be willing to receive. You have to be willing to declare what you deserve and then await for it to arrive, focused only on bringing that to you. Mm. Mhm. You know, manifestation requires focused intention and emotion as the fuel. You angry about something? You angry about how someone did something to you? Took away an opportunity? Sabotaged your efforts? Use that as fuel. Don't listen to these fucking people who keep telling you you shouldn't be angry. If someone did something to anger you, what the fuck emotion are you supposed to feel? What, gratitude? What kind of stupidity is that? You come up to me and you slap me in my face for no reason. I'm supposed to be thankful? Fuck no, I'm going to be livid. You better make sure you got at least 6 people with you. That's how many it's going to take to fucking get me off of you. I'm not joking. You lay hands on me? Mm-mm. 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 That's not going to end well. That is not going to end well for anybody in that space. Mm-mm. No, no, no. There is only one appropriate emotion. It's rage. Rage. Do you look at me and see someone who embodies a certain type of command, a certain type of tangible strength? I don't identify as strong. But when you look at me, when you listen to me speak, is that how you identify me? Is that how you see me? As someone that is formidable, someone that is controlled. Why do you see me that way if I don't see myself that way? I see myself as a fractured person. I see myself as emotionally injured. I see myself as very fragile. So, what is this huge discrepancy in the way I see myself and the way you see me? It's because you witnessed me harness my rage in a very controlled manner. You see, what you identify as strong, like, no, Emmy's not going to let nobody shit on her no more. from my seat, from my perspective, I'm just tired of the people who do things, horrible things, when all I want to do is help. I'm tired of complete strangers so fucking focused on being so hurtful and so destructive. Just because I want to help. How is that strong? That I'm so tired of it. That I finally accept. That I have to do whatever I have to do to finally assert some boundaries. That if you're going to try, then you're going to receive a whole nother side of me. A side that I don't like, but I now accept. It must exist. There is reason for its existence. And that is the process of becoming a whole person. That is the process of entering into a state of totality. It hurts me not because it hurts me not because I still dislike aspects of myself. It hurts me because I don't understand. I don't understand. What did I ever do that was so horrible so as to warrant this type of consistent attempts to harm me? You know what I did that was so horrible? I played small. I feigned weakness. I successfully obscured the most potent, most powerful parts of me, the most formidable parts that would not stand for any of that shit. And then I begged people to be comfortable with me because I felt like I had to. Still, I'm absolutely grateful for everything I've gone through. There was no other way that I would be capable of learning about myself without the involvement of horrendous people. There was no other way. I was not being punished. I was being gifted something so beautifully painful, so painfully beautiful, that it would forever change me, never allowing me to return back to that space of fake smallness. Now, these days, it's all happening now. These people who think, oh, it's Emmy. Oh my God, it's been years. Oh my God, she has all of these viewers. I'm going to say hi. I'm going to be associated with her. No, the fuck you ain't, bitch. No, the fuck you ain't. You think it's all good because I never said anything. I'm aware of what you did. No, the fuck you ain't. Oh, you think you're going to start shit with me so that I'll address you publicly so you can build an audience off me? No, the fuck you won't, bitch. No, the fuck you won't. Oh, you think you're going to intimidate me so that I could walk away and hand you a plat? No, the fuck I won't, bitch. We gonna fight. Oh, you're going to see the side of me that was cultivated by my father. I reserve that side for specific types of people. That side is only for specific types of people. I have a quote. I should memorize this. I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. I'm really loving that quote. I'm really loving that quote. This time, I'm ready to go all the way. I will not stop the progression. I will not shrink down the reach. I will not sabotage. None of that. And anyone who tries to get in the way of what is happening now, you will be bulldozed. You will be punished. You will be thrown across the ether. Do not get in my way. Stay in your lane. I will stay in mine. Do not get in my way. And this is me allowing my fuel to burn hot as I forge ahead and reclaim my proper place. I will not be sorry anymore that I was created to stand out, that my mind was forged in a different way, and it is in that difference that I will empower other people to liberate themselves and take their place as my equal. You see, there are those who are tyrannical, these fucking tyrants who seek to subjugate you in order to raise themselves up. No, I'm not one of those. I will fucking take my spiritual machete and cut down the overgrowth and create a path for our entire community. We all get to the top together. No, there's no other option. We all get to the top together, and whatever has to be bulldozed down, and fucking trampled. So be it. I told you, stay in your fucking lane. Stop getting in the way of the lane I'm building for my community. It's all happening now. It's happening for you too. That's a collective level. It's happening on a personal level as well. It's happening for you right now. What have you wanted so badly, but been so afraid to allow yourself to admit you want? I want more moisturizer. Okay. I want more moisturizer. I do. But I don't want to pay that much. I want more moisturizer. I want my hair care stuff. That's all a girl wants. Okay. What do you guys want? What do you want? What's the thing you want the most in life? And don't tell me no nonsense about like don't tell me no nonsense. Don't tell me no nonsense. Oh, I want the world a better place. Okay, yeah, good. We all want that. What do you want for you? Hmm? What do you want for you? What is it? What it is, yo? What's up? Can a good soul get a little love? What do you want? Give me 1 second. Think about what you want. Think about it. I'm being completely serious right now. Think about it. Ooh, Lilith. I want to master and know myself in ways that I could not imagine. Did you know by the time you master your life, you are at the cusp of taking your last breath? I do not seek to master life. I do not seek to master myself. I seek to remain open, to continue to grow and learn for as long as I'm here, so that I might be better prepared for whatever elevations in service creation might find me worthy of. I seek to not master anything, but instead to remain malleable, ever expansive, and open to the entire process. Don't seek to master anything, not even yourself. Seek to find the courage to more deeply explore, more openly witness, and more profoundly receive. Don't seek to master anything. That is a falsehood that limits you. I will never be a master of anything. And that is how it should be. For as much as I learn, the more aware I become of how much more there is to learn, how much more is left to grow. There are no limits except the ones you believe in. And when you believe that you have mastered anything, you no longer want to learn. You no longer open yourself to the potentialities or the profound nature of you. And that is because you believe that you've reached the top. There is no top. There is no summit, no pinnacle. There is none of that. Ready but waiting. It's in reverse. I don't think you're waiting. I think what's happening is that you're not aware of how ready you actually are. Yeah. Clarity in reverse. Not being clear about the gravity of you, right? Being unaware. That lack of awareness is not true lack of awareness. That lack of awareness stems from all of these different teachings that you are adhering to because it sounds spiritual, it sounds evolved. Do you know? Not only can the devil quote scripture to further its own ends, the devil can also bastardize profound divine theories and concepts to create a quagmire, to entrap you, to get you into this race against yourself so that what? You could be the first to develop what? What does it matter? Soul does not operate in linear time. It just doesn't. You are to grow in the time and the space with the details that are selected by soul. You cannot rush this. You cannot force this. You cannot turn yourself into a mirror of someone else just because they sound spiritual. I'll tell you something, and this is going to rub so many people the wrong way. I don't give a fuck. Y'all people are so offended by my existence, anyways. So I don't care how it hurts these people's feelings. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. Let's start with a disclaimer. I have ceased for quite a few years at this point. I have ceased to expose myself to other spiritual people, spiritual content creators to be exact. I have ceased. You know why I ceased? Disclaimer, I don't know everybody. I can only speak on what I do know and what I have experienced. To date, I cannot think of a single spiritual content creator that I personally know that is not full of fucking bullshit, ego run crapola. They don't like me. Why? Because my autistic ass threatens their little pyramid scheme that they've created. How do you do that, Emmy? Well, because I'm autistic, I'm on the spectrum. I don't realize when I shouldn't say shit. And I'm just like, why would you say that? Actually, no, that's not true. Yeah. And it throws a monkey wrench in the bullshit because I mean, God, how Emmy fucking say this shit? How dare she say this shit when I have spent hours Googling this information? And I'm like, oh, but that's wrong. Not to correct you, but just to share information. No, that comes from the convoluted half truth that Toth proliferated. You know that motherfucker's a thief. He was thieving. He didn't know. He didn't know. Toth didn't know. But I'm part of the cloister that was implanted in Kemet, and we took the form of high priests and priestesses. And then he had us, my cloister, go and be sequestered underneath the Sphinx in the halls of Amenti so that we could, in secret, by candlelight, go ahead and begin transcribing the CDT plates, the Mahabharata. He didn't know. He didn't know. We were given the green light to convolute about 70%, sometimes 90% of the content that we were transcribing. Because fuck him. He's not going to usurp creator. Your coup d'etat, my dear, has been denied. But he didn't know that. He didn't know that. So he went ahead and he took this information and he went ahead and he made the emerald tablets because he was a fiendin' ass motherfucker. You know what he wanted so badly? He wanted to be an emerald sun consciousness. He's not. He's not. He's not. He wanted to be a Yana. He's not. He's a Nunakai. He's not from a founder race. So then what he did, he thought he had all the information. He made the emerald tablets, and then he went ahead and he took several forms. The thrice great Trismegistus, right? Hermes. Yeah. No, bitch. You still the same bitch regardless of what name you change it to. What he did, he went over Chichen Itza and he gave them the information. Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan. That's all the same motherfucker. It's all the same motherfucker. Yeah. And then he went ahead and he went somewhere else and gave them information as well. He's like, I'm Hermes. No, the fuck you ain't. Toth. Yeah, so he spread all of this information thinking he would like, I'm now going to be a god because I'm giving this divine information. Except my team hijacked you. We did. And you see, you brought us down to the halls of Amenti because of the hydroplasma that was stored underneath. The same hydroplasma that was used to generate a charge for the pyramids. Yes. No, here's the thing. You thought whatever wasn't completely transcribed you could go back to the halls of Amenti and get it from the water because hydroplasma stores knowledge. That's why you had us transcribe it there. Except my team are elemental benders too. Why do you think the whole fucking region became a desert? You will not get that information. You're welcome. I know. It was like the biggest prank ever. You're the only one that didn't know. You're the only one that didn't know. Toth is the only one that didn't know. We were all in on it. Every single last one that was in that chamber. We were all in on it. Yeah. He stole those plates. He stole those plates. That's why a lot of the information that you guys are going to come across online, it's going to be corrupted information. And then you have the people who are like, I'm so much above all of you because guess what? I can access the Akashic records. Oh, that's corrupted too. Those are false memories that have been implanted in the Akashic. Why? Well, to keep you phase locked. Why do you think me and my channel, my content is heavily shadow banned? Because I'm part of the team that lived through that period. That means my memories are intact. That means you cannot corrupt me because I don't give a shit. Right? Right. You guys, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be shared. I had an entire team. Their memories are also not corrupted. Most of them still don't remember. That's because it's not yet time. I remember, though. Why do you think I'm being told to teach aura spectra bioregenesis? This is the very system that Toth was coveting. He was not allowed to have it. He wanted so bad. Aura spectra bioregenesis. The full spectrum of light to regenerate life aura spectra bioregenesis. Let that sink in. It is not a system you will find anywhere else. It is not something you'll find online. Mm-mm. Why do you think I'm able to do what I do? Why do you think I have no fear of others? I have intact memories of aura spectra bioregenesis. This goes beyond time-space matrices. It goes far beyond that. Far, far, far beyond that. It's all happening now. It's all happening now. All of it. And you, my community, you're part of the foundation of it. I am nothing but a representation of a promise that was made. I am a promise made into flesh. I am an answer. I am a solution for a problem that has existed for a very long time. And now that we've learned everything we are capable of learning, we have become so separated. This is the most separated we have ever been. Now it's time to come back. Now it's time to reunify. 2024. 2 plus 0 is 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 4 is 8. Did you know the number 8 was very sacred for those in commit? It's sacred for quite a few. Knights Templar. They got access to Atlantean technology. Why do you think the Vatican launched a war against them? It's a lot of information. All of it, slowly but surely, beginning this year, is going to be gifted back to us. Cannot be stopped anymore. The time for reunification has been initiated. They will fight. That's okay. Whatever they try. Remember, I told you I have a team. We will be okay. Those who choose to be okay, you are going to be okay. I'm not interested in being elevated. I am, however, interested in serving my purpose at this point. I will not drag my feet. I will not fight it anymore. There's a reason that I live stream. It is not to be an influencer. I have no desire to influence anyone. It is to simply be witnessed and to give you the freedom of choice. What will you decide for yourself? It's not about joining my team and it's us against them. There is no team. What will you decide for yourself? Are you ready to heal? Are you ready to transcend the limitations you've believed in? You have the authority to choose. It's all happening now. What will you decide for yourself? because you are the only one that gets to decide this. There will be those who will try and tell you. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. The choice is strictly yours. There is no thing that you need to do to be given the authority to choose. You already have that authority. You've had it since you incarnated. You've just been convinced to keep giving it away, to keep letting other people borrow it, right? No, no more. No more. Things are going to change. It's changing this year. There is a reason that I'm now being spread all over the place. My last live stream on TikTok, and I'm barely getting started with what I'm going to do there, okay? I have every intention of fucking all shit up. I spoke to my twin the other day. I spoke to my twin and he was giggling. And he goes, stir it, keep stirring the pot. And I said, boo, I'll use 2 spoons. Mm-hmm. So let's see. So my last live stream on TikTok, again, just me spending time with people. 18.3 thousand views while I was live. Let me see. And in the last couple weeks, 114.7 thousand. That tickles me. In that one live stream, nearly 1,200 shares. I don't give a shit about being a celebrity or being known. I don't. But it's time for the world to know people like me exist. I am not the only one. We are rare. And most are still very well hidden. We are very rare. Once I'm properly positioned, the other 143 will come into public view. Mm-hmm. And then you know what happens. It doesn't matter anymore if they try and shut me up. Because the world will already know people like me exist. And then you know what else happens. Every single child being born since COVID, every single one, they are just like me. Why do you think your toddlers think I look familiar? Why do you think they're drawn to me? They are just like me. I will no longer be a minority. I am no longer a quantum anomaly in a linear world. And that's how the world's going to change. Not by force, not by rebellion, but just because it's time. And all other children born from them will carry an even higher frequency register. The phase lock era is done. It is done. They fucked up when they locked all of us in our homes. They thought it would stop it. And all it did was give us a pathway for my entire soul family to incarnate. And it is a beautiful thing happening right now. There is nothing to be afraid of. You simply have to be present and allow your blossoming to occur. You will not be blossoming if you hide in the closet, if you remain in the dark spaces trying to hide yourself. Simply be you. And naturally, you will bloom. It's all happening now. It is all happening now. There is nothing for us to be afraid of. They would want you afraid so they can harvest that energy. No. There is nothing that can be done without our consent, without our passive permission. There is nothing that can be done at all. Literally at all. If we all collectively chose to not, to not comply. I'm not talking about fighting at all. That's what they want. That's what they're prepared for. If we just were like, no, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing they can do about it. No to what? Whatever we feel like saying no to. It wasn't even 100% of us that was like, no Starbucks. No. Oh, he was so cocky too, wasn't he? He was so cocky. And then what happened within like what, a week, 2 weeks, something like that? Maybe it was even a few days. Begging, please, please don't punish me. I will give money to, whatever he was planning to give money to. That was only a fraction of us. What are we afraid of? What do we need to be afraid of? Not a damn thing. I promise you, not a damn thing. They want to convince you to be afraid of yourself, afraid of receiving, afraid of how other people will see you. If you allow yourself to be yourself, you can't control that. You cannot control that. Why would you want to? That's a waste of your time, your energy, your effort. So instead, be you. It is what it is. They don't like it, they can look away. They don't like your presence, they can walk away. You're too much, they can look for less. You're not enough, they should look for more. You're exactly what you need to be. When you need to be that, you will continue to grow. You will continue to expand your awareness, your consciousness, your ability to access your gifts. That will continue to develop through the course of your entire life. You think I'm very gifted? I'm operating at, 14, 15% of my capacity. I'm aware of this. That's why I don't really think I'm the shit. I'm like, I better fucking start hurrying up and doing some work. I better start fucking focusing because shit. If you don't learn, if you don't do the work that needs to be done to cultivate your awareness of yourself and your purpose, you know what happens? I'm going to tell you what happens. You want me to tell you what happens? I will tell you what happens. I'll give you a little cheat sheet. Okay. Tutors will be brought in. Oh, that's it? Huh. Tutors. I don't want no fucking tutor. Do you know what it means to have a tutor from soul? You know what that involves? Whatever you refuse to learn in the classroom of light, you will be given a dark tutor to learn in private. You know what dark tutors are? There's a reason demons exist. They are dark tutors. They will do in the shadows the things that will trigger your learning without your consent through trauma. Trauma-induced accretion. That's a dark tutor. How do I know this? I had a dark tutor through my entire childhood. I had multiple. I lived in so much fear. I had multiple. Traumatized the shit out of me. But your girl's stubborn. I don't want to stay down. You can't hold me down. I'll fucking fight back. Right? Why am I such a good parasitic extractor? Why me of all people pioneering the field of parasitic extraction, aka exorcism? Why? Because of the sheer volume of dark lessons taught by dark tutors through my entire childhood. Oh, it ate away at the fear until all that was left was rage. Pure fuel. Pure fucking fuel. Why do you think they're all afraid of me? Because they know I haven't forgotten what they did to a helpless little child. I haven't forgotten. I will never forget. That's why everything that's happened in your life has happened for a perfect reason. You might not understand it, right? You might not know it, but I promise you, in time, you will be gifted the understanding of why things happened in the past as you are prepared to be launched far forward into your purpose. We all go through this. We all go through this process. Every single last one of us has a purpose that was carefully designed by Creator. I am exactly who I am to fulfill a purpose that only I can fulfill. I cannot take your place. You cannot take my place. There is no way I will ever develop the skills to the appropriate degree to take over your role, just like you could never take over my role. That makes us all equally important in very different ways, but still very much shoulder to shoulder and equally important. That's why I don't have any desire to compete with anyone. There's shit you're going to do that I could never even dream of doing. I just never could. Like, I ain't even going to try. I'm not going to hurt my own feelings. Are you kidding me? I could never do it as good as you. Whatever it is, I could never do it as good as you. Just like there will be things that I will be so good at, no one else could do it just like I do. I don't know what those things are. I don't. I don't know. Maybe like sarcasm. I'm pretty advanced with that. I don't know. My sarcasm is very advanced. You guys, we have to end this lack of connection with each other, right? We have to allow ourselves to reconnect. We have to allow ourselves to begin seeing and exploring the ways and the whys of the people in our circle, right? Really open yourself. It's all happening now. Everything that you've worked so hard for, everything that you thought was simply a pipe dream, one day, maybe. No, it's happening now. It's absolutely happening now. And there is a tremendous potentiality that you will soon be seeing proof. I don't know what type of proof. I don't know when. I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know what you're supposed to specialize in, but you're going to start seeing proof. Be ready for it. Stay open for it. Allow yourself to receive. Your life is about to change. You're about to see the messages. You're about to see the confirmation. And it's going to be amazing. I promise you. We don't have to be afraid. We don't. This world is going to change with minimal effort. We simply have to allow our natural organic process to change the way we see ourselves and the way we function in our lives. And that is already destined. It is destined to happen. You cannot stop it. You can't. It is going to happen. And the more in alignment and agreement you are with change, the less you will perceive it as suffering. The more you will be excited at how these changes that appear to be scary because we don't know any better, we don't know what's coming next. You will see it as like, oh shit, another promise is about to be given. Another promise. That's how I see it. I see fucked up shit in the news. I'm at the gym and I'm like, oh, there's some good shit that's about to pop off. This is so gonna fucking fail. Whatever these stupid asses are trying to do is so gonna fucking fail. I can't wait to see how this is corrected. That's every day I'm at the gym because they have the news playing. I look over and I'm like, they're still fucking trying. Oh my gosh. I wonder how they're going to be corrected this time. They're going to so have their ass handed back to them again. Anyways, yeah, that's how the gym goes for me. And that's how it goes. We're not going to take any more. We are not going to take any more. And people have had enough. Thank God. People have had enough. So it's a lot of information I gave you. Sit with it. Allow yourself the appropriate amount of time to make sense of it. For some, it's going to click in the next few days. I mean, I don't know what's going to click, but it's going to click for you. I don't know if it's going to be on a personal level, on a collective level, but something is going to click. For others, it's going to take a few months. That's okay. We got many, many months. We have many, many years. World is not ending. It's not ending. Seriously, it's not fucking ending. It's not. It's going to continue forward. It's just going to make a sharp turn. At some point, it's going to be a sharp turn. Because that's where the road leads. To go straight is to go off the cliff, and we're not going to go off the cliff. We're just not, because we're not dumb. We're not dumb. We want to exist. So we will continue to drive the vehicle appropriately on the road. We're not going to stop existing. That is a promise. We are not going to stop existing. Let go of the fear. Can I tell you something about revelations? Do you guys want to know? Do you want to know? I don't want to spoil the story. Do you want me to tell you? Because, I mean, if you don't want me to spoil the ending, then I won't say it. You know what I'm saying? So Revelations was added after. They came up with a plan of how they were going to do everything. And then they wrote it as Revelations. Why did they write that in? Because these demon ass whores, they don't have the authority to create. Their ark, the promise, like the Ark of the Covenant, the promise with God, they broke their promise. That's why they have horns. That's why they have horns. That's a broken halo. So what's that mean? Our covenant with God is still intact. Remember, we're toddlers. What the fuck can a toddler do? Not a damn thing. You can misbehave a little bit. You can have a little bit of a tantrum, but you can't do a damn thing that would like invalidate your promise, your covenant with God. And because of that, our ability to create is still intact. Why do you think we can have children? Demonic things can't procreate. Why do you think the fallen had to take the daughters of Eve? It was the divine feminine that gifted them the opportunity to share of their frequency. They could never have birthed the Nephilim without the children of God. They cannot create circumstance, but they can sure as hell manipulate you to do it. You know what's more powerful than fear? Happiness and laughter. That is our natural state. Do you have to teach a baby how to laugh? No. Do you have to teach a baby how to be peaceful? No. That is our natural state. Centered in peace, laughing the entire time. It was only after they traumatized us and programmed us to believe that, oh, we're broken. Why do you think there's so much programming trying to convince you that you have pathology? Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm bipolar, I have anxiety disorder, I'm disordered, I'm disordered. I have a syndrome, I'm disordered, I'm a syndrome, I'm disordered. Like, no, the fuck you're not. You just didn't have enough coping skills because you didn't have enough experience to be able to efficiently cope through a difficult period. Yet they convinced you that one difficult period is now your identity. Mm. Executive functioning cheat sheet. That's exactly what I am. An executive functioning cheat sheet. You are not a pathology. The pathology is a byproduct of an acute situation that you did not have the capacity to handle at the time it occurred. Let go of the labels, move forward, and allow yourself to return back to who you are, which is not the same person you were before you got traumatized. You'll never be that person again, so stop trying. Allow yourself to accept who you are right now and embrace the changes, embrace the awareness, and see how you begin to blossom. I say this as someone who was misdiagnosed. No, lying assholes. I wasn't misdiagnosed. You lied to me. You lied to me. You took a pseudoscience and you applied it to me as though it was my fate, that I was destined to be broken and remain as such. Fuck you. Fuck you. I am what I believe I am. And no one gets to tell me what to believe anymore. Don't ever let me tell you what to believe. Instead, let me remind you of what your soul has been communicating, and then converse with your soul and find yourself again. I do not know who you are, and I have no authority over you. I am simply you further down the road. You better hurry up, because you never leave a girl like me waiting. I gotta go though. You guys, everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be okay. Find the courage to be more of who you are, and then find even more courage to recognize that that version of you still is not the most authentic part. Keep going, keep digging, keep discovering, keep reunifying all of your parts. You are valid, you are safe, and don't let any fucking clown try and convince you otherwise. You are valid, you are safe. Your potential is still intact, waiting for you to unwrap the present that it is. Get some scissors, start unwrapping, and enjoy every part of this journey. It's a journey back home to you. There's no rush to get there. I love you guys. I love y'all. I got to get going because I have sessions and everything. So please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. I want to remind you guys, I do have a workshop coming up, Morphogenetic Fundamentals. This is where I teach the fundamentals of aura spectra bioregenesis so that you can begin maintaining your own auric field. And hopefully you won't need any sessions from anyone. As I would have said. Now, if there are wicked demon horitas that are trying to make your life hell by way of magical practice, you need to consider my Black Magic Revocation Workshop. This is where I teach you to fuck shit up. Not really, but to defend yourself and undo the. I'm not trying to promote energetic violence. It's just, I felt sassy. This workshop, I teach you how to undo the effects and how to protect yourself from future attempts. It's a really powerful workshop. And no, it's not just me teaching you magical incantations and whatnot. No, it's me teaching you aura spectra bioregenesis that transcends human magical practice. Yep. It's a pretty good workshop. I've taught it before a couple times. And then, of course, if you're ready to unplug yourself from this matrix of oppression, Satan's ball sack, I said what I said. You need to start your own business. You need to become independent from the system. The plan is to cause you to become so dependent that you will do whatever they say you need to do in order to continue receiving your benefits. Fuck them. Let your gifts provide for you. Monetize whatever you are good in. I mean that. Fuck them. Monetize whatever brings you joy, whatever brings you passion. Monetize your gifts. Allow your gifts to give back to you so that you have more free time to cultivate the gifts that you will gift to other people. I can help you with that. I can help you receive communication from your soul, soul-based business mentorship. And then, of course, you got some shit wrong with your body. Go check it out. Etheric medicine. I'm finally offering this to the public. Before, up until like, I don't know, a month ago, maybe even less than a month, you had to be privately referred to me by someone I trust deeply, or I will not admit to being able to do this shit. I know. I was full of shit for a while. But now I can do much more advanced work, but this is what I'm comfortable offering to the general public. Etheric medicine. You have some kind of condition that modern medicine is finding hard to support you through. Go check those out. I might be able to help in some way. At the very least, I might be able to get you the appropriate medical terms to bring to your doctor. Get them by the ball sack. There are some doctors that are really, really good. If you have a really good doctor who listens and is open, cherish them. They're very rare, but they do exist. And if you want to see what else I have to offer, go to my website, meevolving.com. That's where you can see all of my energetic offerings. I'll be live later this evening on Tiki Tac, to stir shit up some more. I'm excited. I feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Just fucking shake shit up over there. um, if you haven't already followed me there, please do. I'm evolving across all social media. Follow me everywhere. It's not stalkerish unless you make it weird. Then it's like stalkerish. But if you don't make it weird, then it's just like we're homies. We're part of the same community and you're being supportive. Okay, that's the rule. So I will see you guys again very soon. Hopefully, you guys can join me when I'm live on TikTok later tonight. If not, that's okay. It's kind of a toxic space over there. It is. We can manage, though. We can definitely manage. I'll see you guys again very soon. Don't forget the thumbs up, the share, the likes, all of that. And I love you guys. I'll see you again very